You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Roosevelt Lakers head dance coach, Coach Lindsay Jones. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching at college dance?
It all kind of started back when I was a child, I guess, in eighth grade. I was forced to be the captain of the flag team. And from there on, I was always either the captain or teaching. And through the years, I've taught all different levels, and I really fell in love with the college age kids, really helping them learn how to become adults through the whole college process. So that's how I ended up here.
What was that experience like for you going to Northern Illinois to compete in dance?
So attending NIU was quite an experience, something I always wanted to do, attend a big state school. Um, and getting to be on the Silverettes, the NIU dance team, was an honor. It was such a big deal to actually try out and make it. Um, it was overwhelming because they participate with the band, and their band is 100 plus people. And I had never been involved in such a large group of that nature. So it was quite an experience. It was fun, made a ton of friends who I still talk to today.
How was that experience like getting to represent them and putting on that uniform for them?
It was interesting. College dance, even back when I attended college, was very different than high school dance. So it was fun being out on that big football field. I mean, Northern has a ginormous football stadium, so it was very intimidating at first, but um, if you love to perform, being on a college dance team was pretty amazing.
Coming out of college, what was it like getting started into coaching dance and being a dance instructor?
So I actually had my first coaching job the summer before I left for college. So I was 18, I had just graduated high school. I was actually a volunteer cheer coach for a Pop Warner little tiny cheer team. And previous to that, I had been captain of my high school dance team. So it was just kind of a natural um, lead way into my coaching. From there, coached, I've always coached. So it was just kind of something I fell into. Um, and I've never known anything different, I guess. So it was fun, and I've a learning experience for sure.
What was that experience like working as a dance director for a dance company?
So I was the director for the St. Viator High School Orchesis program, which is very similar to a dance studio type. Um, but I had never put on a production. I'd always been in productions. So actually having to plan and manage a production for their end of the year show um, was was interesting, but I had a lot of students there that were able to help me walk through it. And it was really cool to see the end product and how much these kids had grown over the entire year at their final show.
How was that transition like for you going from working for a dance company to coming to Robert Morris and being their spirit coordinator?
Easy, because being a dance teacher versus being a dance coach is a very different type of job. And somebody mentioned to me the other day that college dance team is almost like its own style of dance, similar to ballet, tap, jazz. We kind of think college dance team style is is its own thing. So I started off at Robert Morris as just an assistant dance coach. And within a matter of 3 years, I was promoted every year and then became spirit coordinator, which means I oversaw all the cheer, all the dance, all the mascots. And at Robert Morris, I also oversaw the flag team, and we also had an ice crew. So by the time I ended my job at Robert Morris in 2015, I had 165 athletes in my program.
During that time, what were some of your biggest accomplishments at Robert Morris?
Well, first, starting the program, I started off with 8 dancers and about 10 or 11 cheerleaders in 2009 when I started. And by the time I decided to step away in 2015, I had 165 athletes in the Spirit program, which was a huge deal. The programs had never been that big in the entire history of Robert Morris. I also created a competitive dance team and a competitive cheer team. And we would attend the Universal Dance Association Nationals in Orlando, Florida. And the biggest accomplishment of it all is we were put into an open division, which has 20 to 30 teams. Anything from a Division II school down to a junior college competes together in this one division. And for 2 years in a row, we placed top 10 in that division for our hip hop routines.
While at Robert Morris, what was that experience like starting that program from the ground up?
Challenging, to say the least. As most people know, a lot of people don't know about the cheer and dance programs and that they're definitely a sport, and these kids work year round. We don't get time off. Our season is not a 3-month season because we are there for home football games and men's and women's basketball games and our competitive season. So our students start the tryout process in May and they finish in April. So the biggest challenge, I guess, was to educate people on what we do and what our season is like. And all these years later, I still feel like I am still educating um, people on what these athletes do and what they bring to the table.
For you, what was that transition like going from Robert Morris to coming to Roosevelt and getting to become the spirit coordinator?
It was actually very easy because Roosevelt University acquired Robert Morris. So I was lucky enough that Roosevelt did not have a cheer and dance program already. So we just kind of transitioned over with the rest of the university and the rest of the staff. And but 3 days later, after that acquisition happened, we hit COVID and we were shut down. So I was expected to grow a brand new program again during a national shutdown. So there was a lot of learning happening there.
What was some of the challenges you faced and how did you overcome those challenges?
The biggest challenge was trying to recruit via Zoom. And I had never really done that before. Um, Everything was online. So learning how to reach out to these juniors and seniors via email, via Instagram, and then actually scheduling their interviews online and not being able to show them a campus or anything like that, and doing tryouts online via video. It's really hard to keep everybody on the same count via Zoom. So that was probably the biggest challenge that we incurred.
After building the team, what does a typical game day look like for you as a coach versus for your athletes?
So we're still building. We're only on year 4, year 4. And we're constantly building. It never stops. Game day for football and basketball are very different. For football, we are out in Arlington Heights, Illinois, versus our campus is downtown Chicago. So first, there's about an hour bus ride for the athletes to get out here to our football field. But from there, we greet everybody as they walk in, and then we set up our tunnel for our football players. They run through, we do all of our pregame. And what sets us apart from other smaller universities is that our cheerleaders and dancers both stand on the sideline through the entirety of the game and dance consistently and cheer consistently. So the dance team performs halftime, and then we're back on the field for the third and fourth quarter, and then we go home.
Of course, as a coach, what is that like getting to travel away for your home games?
It's stressful. It's nice for basketball to be able just to walk across the street for the basketball games, but for football, according to the athletes, they love it because they are transported on a very nice coach bus, and we take very good care of our athletes. So it does give them a good 45 minutes to an hour to kind of relax, catch up on any homework if they need to, and just kind of get in the zone before they get to the craziness of football game.
During competition days, what does that look like for you as a head coach versus for your athletes?
Competition's tough because we only get to do one. As college athletes versus high school, you can compete up to 8 times a year. College, you get one chance. And we go to NCAA, NDA nationals in Daytona, Florida. So it's a big event. We're gone for like 5 days, and the dance team competes 2 routines. Cheer competes 1 routine. And as spirit coordinator, I am running back and forth, making sure to support everybody. But then I also have to put on my other hat to be the dance coach as well. And so I have to be there for my dance team and coach them and motivate them through the entire day. They're very long days. There's times we're up at 5 a.m. doing hair and makeup, and then they've got to get their game day face on by 8 a.m. So to be motivated to hit the floor at 8 a.m. it's a challenge for the athletes. It's a challenge for me. I'm not a morning person. So it's a process that they have to go through. We are up and ready, full hair, makeup, costume, 3 hours before we actually hit the floor. So we are warming up 45 minutes before our floor time. And then we go through 3 different rotations of floor time before we're escorted backstage to then do one more last floor time that's about 7 minutes. And then we're hitting the stage and off you go. My scariest part of the whole thing as a head coach is I have to press play for their music. So I stand there and they plug in my phone, and I have to stand there and wait. And to press that play button is the most nerve-wracking thing of the entire day.
Of course, what is it like getting to go to those competitions in Daytona?
It's surreal. I think the Netflix series Cheer kind of put this competition on the map, because we are there with Navarro and TVCC and Louisville and all of these huge, like, well-known schools that have been around for 30 plus years and have made names for themselves, and are 14, 15-time national champions. So it's humbling for sure, but it is quite an experience to open your hotel room door and be right there on the beach and be able to perform on the band shell outside, and you're looking at the ocean as you were performing. It's a surreal experience and something I think our athletes will remember for years to come, regardless if they won or got top three. The experience of it all, I think, is what they will remember.
As a coach, what is that experience like, as you said, getting to compete alongside those big programs like Louisville and NC State in those competitions?
It's it's fun and it's a learning experience as a coach. Um, you get this feeling when they hit the stage, unlike all the other sports where you get to call a timeout and pull your athletes in and talk to them. We don't get that. Once those kids hit the stage, our job's done. We've done everything, and whatever happens, we have no control over. So to feel that loss of control and just cross your fingers that they have your voice in the back of their head and they're doing everything that they're supposed to do is quite an experience. So,
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you've built for the Roosevelt program?
sure. I took a very different approach. I did the same thing with Robert Morris that I am doing with Roosevelt, that cheer, dance, mascot, anything spirit related, we are one family. There is no competition between the cheer and dance team. Even though we are different in our sport, we are all similar in our sport. And we are going to be one big happy family. We are going to push forward and we are going to be united. And I work very closely with my cheer coaches as a dance coach and as a spirit coordinator. Um, I work very, very closely with them all. And I talk to them on a daily basis. And I feel like if we as coaches provide a united front, that we are friends, we are coworkers, and we work together as a team, our athletes will do the same. And it's really fun to walk in together as 50 individuals as one big team. It's a very powerful statement. And it also, provides a bigger group for these kids when they are on the college campus to have more friends and to have a bigger support system than just their, 10 to 12 or 15 teammates.
What does that tryout process look like for those prospective student athletes looking to go into cheer, mascot, or dance?
So cheer and dance have very different tryout processes. Our cheer team is two-time national champions at the NCAA level. So Coach Bobby has quite a different setup to his tryouts. You have to RSVP, and they are in person for both programs. We typically like to go through skills first for both programs. So jumps, all sorts of technique. And then for the dance team, we actually teach a combination. It's about 6 to 8 counts that they then have to perfect and perform within a matter of an hour. So the turnaround's very quick. And that is done on purpose to see how fast they can grasp the choreography and how fast they can clean it and turn it around. For cheer, they work on stunt groups and they work on tumbling. And it's very similar to an open gym where Coach Bobby sits back and he watches, takes notes. They also teach some sideline cheers. And they come back for day 2 for cheerleading, and then they have to repeat it all without any instruction.
For you, what are some of the things that you look at in those prospective student athletes as dancers?
For the dance team, we look at really the determination, the hard work. I call the previous dance coaches from their high school and find out information about what type of teammate this individual was. I prefer to take a loyal, hardworking individual over a highly skilled individual because the type of program I want to build is it doesn't matter if you're national champions or top 3 or top 10. I want you to be a good person and I want to teach you how to be a good adult and a productive adult in society. And we do the same for the cheer program. We contact all the previous coaches and things of that nature. to make sure we are bringing on a quality individual versus quantity.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that green and white uniform for the first time for Roosevelt?
It's fun because our our uniforms are not like high school uniforms. So for their half tops and they're full of sequins. So they're a little squirmy, which is funny to watch, but they are so proud to finally get to put on a college uniform and to take the floor on that first day. You can tell they're very nervous. There's a lot of pulling and tugging on the uniforms, but within a couple hours, they are just so very excited and happy to be there.
What is that like getting to see them put on that uniform for the last time?
Emotional. So, with the acquisition back in 2020, this will be our first year to actually graduate a 4-year Roosevelt student, which is a really cool experience. All of our previous seniors had been part Robert Morris and part Roosevelt students. So this will be our first year that they have been with us for the entire 4 years and graduating. So it's going to be fun to see.
What is that like getting to see them accomplish those big milestones in their career, in their dance career?
It's fantastic. I have one dancer in particular. She was my student at Robert Morris. She started with me as a little 18-year-old freshman, went all the way through, actually got her MBA through Robert Morris as well, and decided to pack up and move across the country to California. And she became a 49ers cheerleader for 2 years. So it was a really cool thing to watch her. She is now an adult working for a very large tech company out there and living her best life. And it's a fun thing, and it kind of makes me feel old sometimes when my previous dancers are having babies and getting married and having all these big fancy jobs. But it's nice to know that I was a part of that.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those prospective student athletes going into the NFL and NBA and dancing?
It's great. It's something I encourage for sure, even just to go through the tryout process for cheer and dance, because now a lot of these NBA teams are having professional cheer teams, like the Chicago Bulls have the Incredibles, which is their cheer team, and they have the Lovables, which is their dance team. So I encourage them and I push them to go through that tryout process because it is a growing experience, and to get out and to work with other dancers and choreographers and coaches is only going to help them be better athletes as adults, but for them to actually make it is amazing and a sense of pride. And it's just great to see them grow to that professional level.
What are some of your future plans for the dance program moving forward?
That's a great question that we are working on a daily basis. As I mentioned, we're always growing. That's just something that we do in the college spirit arena is we're constantly growing. We're constantly looking at adding teams and adding athletes. We our set roster goal is 25 per program, so 25 dancers and 25 cheerleaders. We are super close on year 4 for hitting that. Um, and now we're looking to expand to include a second cheer team. Right now our cheer team is co-ed, so we're talking about possibly adding an all-girl team. And for the dance team, we are looking to add a second team that would be just a game day team, to where when our competitive dancers need to step away, there are a whole nother team to be able to step in and take over some of the game day responsibilities for these athletes.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering dance?
Just any incoming freshman to college, it's a good thing to do it yourself. Don't let your parents do it, because as a coach I don't want to talk to your parents. Your parents are not dancing for me. They are not cheering for me. You are dancing for me and cheering for me. Do the work yourself because it's going to be a real big surprise on week one when those professors are asking you to do things. Mom and dad are not there to help you anymore. So to learn that right at the start is probably my biggest advice.
What advice would you give those dancers out there looking to go compete professionally, whether it's the NFL or NBA?
Get on a college dance team, first of all, because that's where 95% of those professional dancers come from. Get on your high school dance team. Do all of those things. Take outside dance classes. Ballet is the foundation of all dance. And if you do not have a strong background in ballet and a strong background in your skills, you're not going to get very far. But to be a part of a team for an extended amount of time, not just 1 year, but 2, 3, 4 years, is the key because they want team players, they want highly skilled dancers, and they want professionals. And the only way you're going to become that person is by participating on a college dance team.
What advice would you give those head coaches looking to build their own dance program?
Create a network of friends in this industry. This industry is very small. Everybody knows everybody. I've got colleagues here in the Chicagoland area that I have worked with for 10, 15, 20 years. Some of them I danced with professionally when we were younger, and now we've gotten into this industry. So create a network, meet everybody in your area, and learn. Be open for constructive criticism and learn from your colleagues because some of us have been around a very long time and we have a lot of do's and don'ts, but also know that we are still learning. Even though I've been in this industry for a very long time, I'm still learning on a daily basis. And I will never close that door on learning new things, how to coach, how to manage programs.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you out on social media along with the program app?
Social media, we are at Roosevelt Dance Team on Instagram and RU_cheer team. And then myself, it's just Lindsay Jones.
Thank you again, Coach Lindsay Jones, for your interview, and best of luck in your future at Roosevelt as the head dance coach.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Lindsay Jones, for your interview. Best luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.